Okay, now used all together, this is kind of the way the procedure goes. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Alright, the purpose of the tuner is to tune the output, or to match the output of the radio, a 50 ohm load, so to speak, or is that the radio sees a 50 ohm load to this particular device, and it allows the amplifier, the 100 watt amplifier from the back of the radio, to output as much juice as it can. Now what we need to do first is that usually you go into the submenu again, and you go to submenu, I believe 74, 75, and there it is, RF power set. And what this allows you to do is we back this down to something very light, maybe like 20 watts, something like that. And this ensures that there's no issues transmitting output power with a high SWR, standing wave ratio, before the antenna is tuned correctly, and possibly hurting your output stage of your amplifier. So then what we do is that, let's get out of here for a moment, go back to where we're at. We're at 14.312, and the auto tuners are great. You push the button here, and by blinking once, now it's already tuned the setup. And when that particular light blinked once, that means it was at a very low SWR, under 2 to 1. So if I want to force it into a retune, or like a manual set, you hold the button so it lights up, and then you hear it grinding away there, and the relays and the capacitors and the parts inside are basically doing their thing. Now what happens is, we found an open frequency, I think, and watch the SWR meter. It should drop all the way to the right. This is NB8I checking if frequency is clear. And the other thing, so we'll turn our power back up from 26 watts up to 100 again. And if you notice, that particular meter did not move. So in other words, it's like by staying over to all the way over to the right, that means that our SWR, if we look at this closely, the SWR is like, if you look at 1 to 1, 1.5 to 1, 2 to 1, and so on and so forth. The area where it's at now, where it's in the red zone, and we're talking about this middle parameter here. As long as it's not into this point, you're probably okay. But most radios don't like you to go over, say, this particular point or higher. It's like you want to stay in this zone over here. This is NB8I checking if frequency is clear. And if you noticed, it bounced up to maybe like 1.3 or so. It didn't bounce up quite to 1.5, which is still in the safe zone. So let's make another call. This is NB8I checking if frequency is clear. Alright, so in other words, it's my SWR, my standing wave ratio, and my power amplifier are within safe limits, which is kind of a good thing.